We have just clicked on Start the Webinar at this point, and now we're going to download and run Zoom. It should have already, let's see, launch the meeting since you already hopefully have the Zoom client. And here we are. So, as you can see, I mentioned that there will be up at the very top of your screen, impossible to miss, the button to start the broadcast, which you will not do until it is time for the candidates forum to begin. So we are now in practice mode only. And then the attendees won't be able to join you until you broadcast. They can hang out in the waiting room and say the host will let you in a little while, but that's all an attendee will see. So as I make this bigger, we can open the panel for the panelists, and I'm going to actually get out of full screen mode, move it over so that there is room, and then open my panelists window again. Now, at the moment, I only have me because there is no way for me to do what needs to be done for panelists to be part of it, since we would all be sharing one Zoom client, meeting client. But you need to go to the chat box. You have choices there. You are going to choose all panelists and leave it off of attendees. So attendees will not have any access to chat. It will be disabled. And then we are going to ask all panelists to disregard chat so that they don't distract anyone during the process of the forum. Okay. Now, the main other thing is over here. You will see that our participants panel, participants side panel also shows panelists, and then grayed out it shows attendees. Once attendees start registering and going in, they will be there. And we've got the panelists we are moving over there who will have joined by the other link between 6 and 6:30. By 6:45, we need to move them over to attendee status, and that is done here under the panelist screen. You hover on it, it gets controls here, and then go over to more to the drop down. Now, right now, I've got it, since I'm the host, I don't have very many choices. But if it were a person who was a panelist, but not a host, not a co-host, a choice you would see is change to attendee status. So you would click them down to attendee status, give some time because it takes a little time. They will disappear from the panelist screen and reappear eventually over on the attendees panel. Once they are over here, then later on when it is time, when the intermission slide is up, you can go back and hover on their name and get the More button and do the drop down and change to a panelist status. So those are the main things I think you need to know. If you need to mute all, it's right here. And then under the More button, down at the bottom, go all the way down, and it gives you active speakers view or gallery view. You want to make this a gallery view event. And that is because you want to have the timekeeper always one of the people that all of the candidates can see as they are participating. Then once you've done that, then what the attendees will see will also be a gallery view. so they will see the timer as well. The timer actually doesn't really show up much if they are not speaking, but there's a moment when they ring the little chime and they may show up briefly in the video for later. And that is it. So hopefully that is all you need to know to get going with this stuff. I'm going to close out my little screen share video. Come on. Or I would if I could. There we go. Yeah. Save to downloads.